Hello and welcome, my name is Balthiar and today I'm going to give you a quick review on the new Wings of Fate banner and some advice on if and who you should pull for. Also I'm going to give each unit 2 ratings, one for the unit's viability and one for how useful they would be for skill inheritance, or in other words as fodder. The banner features this time Honoka as a flying archer, female Kana as a green infantry dragon and Shigure A as a flying lancer.
When it comes to a fight in the skies, you can count on me.
Starting off strong, we have Honoka Blue Sky Warrior as our first flying archer in Heroes. Now that alone would already be enough for her to see play. However, Honoka comes stacked with amazing skills as well as an impressive stat line of 37 HP, 32 attack, 35 speed, 17 defense and 29 resistance, totaling 150 BST. Her weapon, Warrior Princess, that is Warrior Princess not as the title but as the name of a bow, is effective against both flyers and armored units and grants her free speed, and also grants units in a 2-tile radius free attack. As I said, very stacked. That is essentially a armor slayer bow, something that until now we didn't have, with a speed plus 3 ability and the drive attack 2 ability. So both a free A slot and a free C slot. Can you feel the slow but steady power creep? Anyways, the weapon is amazing. Being effective against armored units is incredibly useful, especially in high tier arena and arena assault. And amplifying her already impressive speed of 35 leads to a stellar level of performance. The drive attack effect is just a cherry on top, probably added so that you never think about swapping it for a brave bow. As for her special, she comes with Luna. Luna is a great choice for units with an aggressive stat line and yet again very useful in high tier arena against armored units. Swapping it for Moonbow can be a smart choice in some situations though, as she would be able to trigger Moonbow before an opponent could land his second hit, securing the kill. The A slot is attack and speed bond, arguably the best bond ability and only shared with the seasonal lover bound armored Lin. Depending on how reliable you are to keep a unit next to you, this skill is a superior version of Swift Sparrow. And as it so happens, Honoka can do this very reliable with her base set, at least in teams with other flyers. Attack and speed bond also works on the enemy phase, which allows Honoka to bait any non-Raventome mages very well. Her B slot is Flyer Formation, a skill only shared with Elintia, so as of now it's quite rare. It allows her to move to any tile adjacent to any flyer within 2 tiles, so essentially it works as if every flyer in your team had guidance. Or should I say, flyer guidance, which is her C slot. It's pretty self-explanatory. It works like guidance, only for flyers. So now your other flyers don't need flyer formation to move adjacent to Honoka. Only Honoka needs it to move adjacent to other flyers. In short, people will run this on their flyer emblem in arena and it will cost you so many runs because mobility is everything. As for the ratings, Honoka gets a perfect 10 out of 10 in terms of usefulness as a unit. Her offensive stat line of 32 attack and 35 speed is already very impressive, and in conjunction with Warrior Princess granting her even more speed and effectiveness against armor, she will be incredibly handy in any team, flyer emblem or otherwise. As for her fodder rating, I'm going to give her a second 10 out of 10, considering that flyer guidance is unique to her and incredibly useful. And both flyer formation as well as attack and speed bond are also quite formidable and have yet only been released on one other unit each. Sadly, you can't have your cake and eat it too, because Honoka would be useful either way. As for our second unit on the banner, we have female Kana.
You don't fight in battle, so I'll protect you. You can rely on me.
Aw, isn't she cute? Kana has a boosted base set total of 163 and brings 40 HP, 30 attack, 34 speed, 33 defense and 26 resistance to the table. Those are fairly balanced stats, in fact almost a bit too balanced. In a recently expanded pool of green dragons are some strong contenders with male Grima and Myr, who both bring a very strong preferred breath, something that Kana doesn't have. If nothing else, she is the fastest green dragon though, so there are certainly some applications for her. As a weapon, Kana wields Water Breath Plus, a refinable breath with 40 might, the usual breath effect, and it grants 4 defense and 4 resistance if the foe initiates combat. This would be equivalent to Bracing Stance 2, a skill that doesn't exist as of yet, but it would be quite handy on enemy phase builds. A skill that does exist though is Fear Stance, which is Kana's A slot. Yet again, it works great on enemy phase builds and has a nice synergy with her Water Breath. Even with this boost however, her special, which is Draconic Aura, was most likely just thrown on her for flavor instead of usability, because her attack set is at least for dragon standards quite low. And Kana would do way more damage if you replace her special with Bonfire, especially with the extra defense from her Water Breath. In addition, Kana also has Goat Dragons in her C slot, which is a new addition to Heroes, albeit one that was due for a very long time. Since most dragons tend to run enemy phase builds with purposefully low speed and steady breath, Goat Dragons isn't as useful as it would at first seem. Most dragon teams would in fact like Ward Dragons more than Goat Dragons, with the exception of female Grima, who for one can't run steady breath and for the other is quite fast. This skill may not look all that useful now, but it looks like we are starting to get some speedier dragons. And the more of those we have, the more useful Goat Dragons will become. All in all, I would give Kana a 6 out of 10 in terms of usefulness. Kana is not a bad unit, but she really lacks something that would stick out. With an extremely balanced statline and no preferred breath, she is overshadowed by both Mir and male Grima. Her base kit leaves some room for improvement since she is set up for an enemy phase set, even though speed is her strongest stat. That said, as long as they are not on the receiving end of a Falchion, dragons are quite strong in general, so Kana can still be a decent unit. Would I bench my free-to-play plus 10 Fae for her though? Probably not. In terms of fodder, Kana gets a 6 out of 10 as well, since at least for now she is the sole provider of Water Breath as well as Goat Dragons. Two skills that right now aren't exactly top notch, but allow for some interesting and new build options. Fear Stance is also not necessarily a first choice skill, as enemy phase builds usually prefer running either breath skills, distant or close counter, or even bond skills. And as for the last unit, we have the regular version of Shigure A.
I'm not as skilled as my mother, but I do enjoy singing.
As a flying lancer. I can't even complain about getting another alt with Shigure A, as the one we got from the Performing Arts banner was actually the alternate version, since Shigure A can't reclass into a singer in Fates at all. Regular Shigure A comes with a base set total of 162, 40 HP, 33 attack, 37 speed, 27 defense and 25 resistance. Damn, that's quite an impressive offensive stat line. His speed of 37 is right now the 4th highest in the game, tied with a few characters. However, he is the fastest lancer in the game as of now. And with his 33 attack, he is also the hardest hitting one of those fast units. Shigure A comes with the Harmonic Lance Plus, which grants him plus 10 damage when his attack based special triggers. This is of course just a lance version of the Wodao effect, and similar to the Wodao, you can refine this lance as well. You can also of course inherit this weapon to other lance units, so probably to abuse double Wrath strategies, something that Shigure A can't because flyers can't learn Wrath. His special is Noontime, which does have somewhat of a synergy with his Harmonic Lance, since the extra 10 damage you deal would also heal you for an extra 3 health. But honestly, sustain and tankiness is not really Shigure A's forte. For his A slot, Shigure A comes with Darting Stance, which grants him 6 speed when his enemy initiates the combat. Aside from Darting Stance sounding kinda stupid in my opinion, the skill itself is also rather silly. Any build running a stance skill would be an enemy phase build by nature. And whenever you make an enemy phase build, you can use Quick Repose as well, which would already guarantee that you double your opponent. Granted, it doesn't prevent your opponent from doubling you, something which this skill could do. But would you really run it on a slow unit in the first place? Anyways, Shigure A is more of a player phase unit looking at his stat line, so darting stance isn't all that good on him either. However, Shigure A also has Ward Flyers, a skill previously exclusive to Minerva and New Year's Camilla. Very useful for tanky enemy phase flyers like Michaelis, Myr or Tsubaki. In terms of usefulness, Shigure A gets from me a 9 out of 10. However, this is with heavy skill inheritance in mind. What makes Shigure A stand out is his amazing offensive stat line of 33-37. And in this regard, he can rival Cordelia with her stat line of 35-35. Speed is usually more important than attack, so I would argue that Shigure A is actually superior to her, especially when running her fire sweep build, which is usually considered her best build. Trouncing a top tier unit is no small feat. However, it does require you to replace every single skill in Shigure's arsenal, so this is not exactly a budget friendly option. As far as fodder units go, Shigure A gets a 5 out of 10. He is the only unit that can provide lance units with a Wodao-like effect, and his ward flyer skill can be useful for enemy phase flyer teams, however those aren't that commonly run. As for darting stance, well, he is the only one that has it, but you'll probably never use it on any other unit either, so this one's a dud. One thing you should keep in mind before rolling for Shigure A though, is that he is most likely the unit on this banner that will be demoted to 4-star rank, seeing how he has the most generic skills out of the 3, and at least with his base set is somewhat weaker than the other two. This is no guarantee however, I'm merely suggesting that you consider not spending all your orbs on a 5-star Shigure A if in about 2 weeks you might be able to get a 4-star without even trying. So, as a final conclusion, should you pull on this banner and for whom? You should not pull on this banner yet. The banner goes for 2 weeks, so that means it will still be up when the Golden Week celebration on the 27th of April starts, when the next legendary hero banner on May 1st launches, as well as when the countering weapon skills focus on the 4th of May starts. Since you have no idea what is going to be on those banners yet, I would advise you to at least wait until Intelligent Systems announces what heroes you'll be able to summon from these banners. If you do decide to summon on this banner, I would highly recommend dabbling into Colorless Hell and grabbing yourself a Honoka, as she is a stellar unit all around, and if you manage to obtain one, you won't regret it. That was all for this video. If you have any feedback or questions, leave a comment below. And if you like what you saw, consider leaving a like and subscribe for more videos in the future. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.